Well, how can we talk about prayer and not pay tribute to the persevering, effectual prayers of godly mothers? David Maines is grateful he had one. I've been engulfed in our founder's history for about the last 3 weeks. Do you know David was offered his first job at the age of 9 after stealing an apple from Mr. Kincaid's store? His mother could read the guilt on her son's face when he got home. David returned to the store, confessed his sin, and paid for the apple. Mr. Kincaid was so impressed, he gave David a job delivering groceries. Well, you've heard confessions of greater crimes and God's redemption on this program. Dimas Salaberrios, for example. Thank God he had a praying mother. She was a school principal, and her husband was a corrections officer. That didn't keep their son out of trouble. The lure of money and power associated with dealing drugs had Dimas selling crack on the streets of New York at the age of 11. By 16, he'd done time in Rikers Island prison. His goal was to become the richest, most powerful, most notorious person in the hood, or die trying. Well, he nearly did, more than once.
And I just thought, when you open up the Bible, whatever you saw, that was God speaking to you. And it said, do ye have little faith? And I remember saying, God, I have faith in you. I have faith in you. So I walked out, I locked the door behind me and closed it. There standing in front of me was a friend whose brother was just murdered. So I walked out and he said, come with me on the side of the house. On the side of the house was my main enemy. And I said, with these two together, I'm done. So I just, at that moment, I mustered up the energy to tell God, I said, God, you've got to get me through this. He pulled out the gun, put it to my head, and he said, my brother's dead. He said, yo, man, you're not there for me. And I stood there and I just said, Jesus. And he pulled the trigger and it went snap. And I'm looking. Then he pulled it again, snap. And I'm there like jerking. He's like, snap, snap. And he's pulling it, snap. He's pulling, snap. And by the power of God, no bullets came out of that gun. He looked at his friend, he said, let's go. And they took off running. And at that moment, I just looked up to Jesus. I said, God, if you're this real, I will do anything that you want me to do. I am in your hands. And from that moment, I've been following God ever since. I know right now it was the prayers of my mother.
A street god in the dark world of crime and drugs had an encounter with the true God and now lives in the kingdom of light. And what a powerful witness Dimas is to many. C.S. Lewis said, rebellion is standard equipment on humans. Moms, grandmothers, don't give up. Don't stop praying. God has promised to answer your call. Our prayer partners would love to agree with you for the life and rescue of your loved one. These men and women are the most caring, empathetic, wise people, and they're always available to pray with you whatever your need. Thanks to our faithful supporters. Call now if you need prayer.